Good morning, grade 10s. Today we are carrying on with the sectioning of mechanical parts. And as you can see, I've got a 3D model here on the right hand side to show you exactly what we are doing with this object. And then on the left hand side, that is what we will get in our textbooks or our questions in a test or an exam. So if we then look at the question, draw the following views: the sectional front view on AA, the top view, and the sectional left view. So if we look on the information that is given, this is then the isometric drawing with all of the dimensions on. As you can see, we've now drawn a sectional front view on AA and put some information there as well. Important thing that I need to say here is a lot of people make mistakes with applying the cutting plane to all the views. That is not the case. The cutting plane only influences one view. So in this case, I will say it later too, that the AA only influences the front view, the BB only influences the left view. So if I just quickly come back to my 3D model and we look at the different views, that will be the front view, that will be the top view, and that will be the left view. So we now have to go and draw that, but we also need to then, for the different views, have the cutting plane in there. And this program has got such a nifty tool here that I can actually now put the cutting plane in, and at the same time, I can actually move the cutting plane around. So there's my cutting plane, and that will then be the sectional view AA. So if I look at what's given there and what we're seeing here, this is actually what we are going to draw. Okay, that is the sectional front view. So what I need to do here is just get rid of the cutting plane, and then as well I can go and put the cutting plane in for the left view, and I can also drag the cutting plane all over the place. As you can see, it's a little bit wonky. It's not 100% straight, but there it is. That is going to be my sectional left view. That is how the cutting plane is affecting just the left view. Okay, because what people go and do, just to let you know, this is what people draw. They don't draw the full top view, but they draw the sectional left view. But guess what? If this is your top view, then your left view is not going to be a sectional view, because that is the only thing that you're going to draw. So there's no sectional view. That's already a mistake anyway. Okay, so if we then go to the drawing itself, I have actually prepared some of it beforehand just to save a little bit of time. So if you just quickly look, the different dimensions that we've got to look at is the length, the height, and the width. So the width of this drawing is 40. You can see that. The height of the drawing is 19 because of that semicircle, and the length from end to end is 90. So if you look at that, there's my one distance for the top view, 90 by 40. There's the distance for my front view, 90 and 19. And there is my distances for my left view, 19 and 40. So I've done that already. The red lines here all indicate center lines. I've already put that one in there because I know that that's what I'm going to see there because of the way that the question is. Okay, so these lines I've already put there. That one there is 13 millimeters away from there. Why am I saying that? Because if I look here, that groove here is 20 millimeters deep, and the width of that is 14, which means if a semicircle fits in there, it must be a radius of 7. 7 minus 20 is 13. So that means the distance between these two lines must be 13. So I've got that in there already. The same on the other side. That groove is also, if I look at that sectional view there, the groove is 14 millimeters thick. The left-hand line is 20. So again, 20 minus 7 is 13. So if I take that dimension, from there to there, it's 13. Okay. Then the last one is to get those center lines that I've got here. They are from end to end is 26. 26 minus 14 leaves you with 12, which means the distance between the two must be 12. And that I've already got. Okay, so We can start this drawing in any view we would like. But a rule that a lot of us has learned at school drawing on a drawing board is we always draw the circles first. So in this case, I would say, let's draw the two semicircles. The one is radius 13 and the other one is radius 19. So I can go here and draw my first circle from, hey, I must just do it from the right place. As you can see there, look, I've missed the spot. So my center point is there. The radius of this circle must be 13. There we go. The other circle is then 19. Okay. From there, if I look at my question again, the height, the height here is 6 millimeters. So I can now go and draw this line from here to here, which is 6. Straight through, and for the left view if I'm going to need it. So just to finish the front view, let me just do it in another way, much quicker this way. The lines that I'm going to be left with is this here. That's what my front view is going to look like before it has been cut. Okay, so I hope all of you agree with that. That's what I've got here set up so far. But now I need to look at these grooves. But before that, let's just take this geometry that I've drawn and draw it in the top view. So from there to there, I've got these lines. And if you now look at it, this line that I'm working with will not be a solid line. It will be a hidden line. So this line here and this line here will be a solid line. This line here and this line here will be a hidden line. Okay, and now we're going to the circle. So we now already know that that center line is on the right place. The radius of the circle is 7, and I then go and draw that line in there. I go draw that line in there. From here, I got to get rid of this line here, this line here. Oopsie. Just get rid of that line there. And we need to get rid of the full circle. If we look at the top view, it is actually taking some nice shape very quickly here on the program. So that will be my top view. So if I look at it, yeah, that's the top view. But remember now, I can show you a bit more here. Just sorry about all of these things popping up. They actually drive me insane. So if we look at this now, being transparent, and I can zoom in, look there, there's two lines here. The bottom line is a hidden line. I cannot see that line. There you can see there too. There's the groove that we're talking about. Okay, so that's why those two lines are then hidden lines. If I look at this one here, I can now go and draw a circle here of 7, a circle here of 7. The two lines are then joined here and here. Then I'm just going to get rid of those inside circles, and then these are then dark lines. Okay, hopefully you will now agree with me that this will be the top view. Now what I need to do now is I need to then insert my two cutting planes so that I know how my two views are affected. So what I'm going to do is that line there, that line there, that line there, that line there, there, and there are all center lines. Okay, so I'm just going to change them to center lines. Where is my center line? There, right at the top. And they need to be on that layer. So that's going to be what my answer is going to look like. As you can see here, this line is too short, so I'm just going to adapt the scale for these just so that I can see a little bit better. And I just remembered I can match it to this property here, so that all of my center lines now, oops, that's not supposed to be, those two, that one there, this one here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this line by about 10 millimeters to the side, and I'm going to extend this one here 10 millimeters to the side. I'm going to take this 10 millimeters out this way. I'm going to take that 10 millimeters out that way, and then I'm going to put the cutting plane in. So move this, and there's my cutting plane from there to there, and I can now go copy that selection from there to there, and I do the same then for my cutting plane AA. I move that one to here, and I insert, then just copy that. Okay, now we can carry on with this drawing. How are these views then influenced? So if I look at what's happening here, I can then immediately say the cutting plane is cutting through nothing there. Okay, the next thing that it cuts through is there, which means I'm going to see a line from there to there. Those two arcs, I'm definitely cutting through there if I look at what's happening. And then I'm cutting through this groove here too. So that line there, from there to there, will be drawn. That line there will be drawn. Again, it's on the cutting plane. So immediately I can now say that this line is dark, this line is dark, this line, this line, this line, this line. See, I've got to be careful with these lines that I've got here. So I need to draw that line from there to there, from there to there, from there to there. Okay, so if I just make that then solid the way it should be. Luckily, the last line that you draw is the one at the top. Oh, must not forget about that one. So, if we look at this sectional left view in isometric, and we look at this sectional left view in orthographic, they are similar. And if you don't agree with that, we can actually go and just make this a bit smaller, and we can go, oh, I put the wrong cutting plane in again. So let's go and put that cutting plane in there. And that is what I see. So this looks the same as that. Now we look at that, and there we can see. Now, the important thing here is that I want to show you. Remember I said, let's look at this. That part there, a lot of people throw away because they think they're cutting through here and then they're not drawing those lines. But I got to remember, there's still geometry that I can see behind the cutting plane. So, if I can explain it this way then. If I look at this groove here, that way, those lines will be solid. But if I go to that cutting plane that I put in from here, and I move that cutting plane backwards. Oopsie, that was a mistake. If I move this cutting plane, oh man, as you can see, this thing is driving me nuts. Okay, now if I take this cutting plane, and as you can see, it's giving me hassles here. I don't want to swing it. I just want to take it back. There we go. That's what I want to show you. As you can see, it's not that easy. In this case, there's nothing at the back, which means there are no lines. That's all I want to show you, because a lot of people make that mistake. If I go back to the beginning, where there's no cutting plane, and you put this section in, a lot of people are now drawing this area without lines at the back, that area there. Okay, so we can now see that that is what that sectional front view is going to look like. Then to put in the hatching, if I look at it, this line here is saying that I'm cutting through nothing, which means there's no hatching. So I just want to quickly switch off my hatching here, my construction layer. And then I am going to insert some hatching here. So the hatching here will then be like that. I need to make this about 3 millimeters wide, and it's at an angle of 45. So if I look at this, that area there and that area there, that needs to be hatched. Okay, if I bring my construction lines back, again then this line here and those three lines will then become center lines. Okay, now that sectional front view is finished. Okay, now that last step is for the sectional left view. Now, before I do any constructions, I must ask myself, where is this cutting plane? This cutting plane is cutting through there. So if I take that cutting plane BB from the top view to the front view, it's exactly the same thing. This is telling me where it's cutting. So guess what? I'm going to see that line, and that line in my left view. Because remember, we don't do any hidden detail lines in a sectional view. We only want to see what happens on the cutting plane. Okay? Therefore, I need to draw a line from here to here. Okay? Sorry, that needs to be a construction line. I'm on the wrong layer. Just go back to construction here. Okay? So if we go through here, that means that whole rectangle is going to be an outline, because that's everything that I see, plus then this line here. That's all that I'm cutting through here. And if you don't agree with me, we can go back and put that cutting plane in here. And now this thing is irritating me again. Let's just wait for that to pop up, pop away. We swing it around and we look at that left view. Okay, there is the left view. The lines at the top and the line at the bottom. That's all we're going to see for the left view. Okay, so that is the left view. Again, if I switch the construction layer off and I put the hatching in, I can change the angle. Let's just change the angle because it's two different views, just to make sure. I can even come back later and say change the gaps in between. So now you can clearly see, because one thing that you need to learn is different directions of hatching means it's different parts. When different parts touch each other, different hatching is needed. So all of those things you're still going to learn this year. Okay, now to finish off again this left view, remember what I said to you last time? Center lines. If there's any feature behind any object that is featured and it's shown by a center line, I need to show it. What does that mean? That groove lies behind my cutting plane. There's a center line for it. There's a center line for it. Which then means I need to put those two lines and this one as a center line. Okay, because I will tell you now, hopefully some of you won't say, these three lines are all center lines. The reason why I'm saying that is this center line is for this circle. These two center lines are for these semicircles. Okay, so the last thing that I've got to then say is, okay, sorry. This is then the answer for this drawing. There is the answer. Cutting plane is in, all of that. But what I got to remember is now, because I'm busy with a mechanical drawing, I now still need to put in the name of the drawing. So I'm just going to quickly cheat here. Mid between 2 points. That's the nice thing about using a program like this. And I'm going to then say this is a casting, and the scale is 1:1, and it should actually be all uppercase, and all should be actually 5 millimeters. So there's the name, and then you know that you got to do the drawing symbol for this. So again, the symbol will be 5 and 10. And then I'm going to go from wherever. I must actually start here. So this one here, that will be 10. Then I'm going to take this one, copy that way, 20. That one goes another 5 that way. This one goes another 5 this way. Line from there to there. Line from there to there. Line from here to here. This is just to finish then the drawing with regards to putting in the symbol. The symbol will be solid lines. And then the center lines here. But I just need to extend those lines a little bit. That one goes that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, and that way. Now you can still not see those are center lines. Now I just got to change their properties quickly and we make it 0.5. That didn't even help. 0.35. Oh, this is on, yeah, you see it's on the wrong layer. Match, that must be a center line. There we go. That's what I want to see. Okay, grade 10s. There is the answer for question number 7.